of my favorite desserts for you. Basically, it is the best cake roll ever, but the secret is that it is a rainbow sponge cake roll. You will instantly fall in love with this light and fluffy texture that melts in the mouth. This is my favorite cake roll creation to date, and everyone who tried a slice loved the bright stripes of color throughout the cake. This cake roll is really easy to make even with children. My 6-year-old daughter adores baking it with me. So you can make not only a colorful dessert but memories too. Watch my video recipe for all sweet details and step-by-step instructions. Mix all-purpose flour, starch and white food color dust. There is a lot of paste. Folding allows the two ingredients to combine with a wavy line. The batter is thick and keeps its shape well enough. Wrapping again and placing on a serving plate. I can't wait to see your bright cake rolls, so post it here, I will be waiting for it. Remember, if you want to receive my new recipe updates, make sure to follow me on Skillshare. Have a sweet day! Mix all-purpose flour, starch and white food color dust. Add sugar powder. Shift it into the bowl. Pour in egg whites into the flour mixture. Add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Use a hand mixture on the lowest speed to mix all ingredients. If you don't have diaxide titanium, add white food color gel at this step. Also, it is the best stage to mix in the flavor. You will need about 10 piping bags for this recipe. It is best to use size M. Add the paste to a piping bag. There is a lot of paste. This amount is enough to make a pattern on 2-3 cake rolls, but unfortunately you can't do less. Put the paper pattern on the bottom of a baking pan. Lay a piece of baking paper inside and fold the baking paper corners out so it doesn't bother you. Fix the baking paper with pins. Cut the tip of piping bag in 2 mm. Pipe wavy lines along the pattern on top of the baking paper. You shouldn't bake or freeze or cover this pattern. Leave it until we start filling it up with rainbow sponge cake batter. Make dry ingredient mixture. Shift all-purpose flour and starch. In another large bowl, put the egg yolk and 1/4 cup of sugar. Use the hand mixture to whip until the mixture becomes light in color and fluffy. Drizzle in the oil while the mixture is on high speed. Add the milk and vanilla extract. Once combined, shift dry ingredients on top of it. Mix butter with a spatula from top to bottom. Do this slowly until the butter becomes well combined and the lumps disappear. The process isn't fast, but very pleasant and relaxing. Add the room temperature egg white into a bowl of a stand mixture. With a whisk attachment, beat the egg white on high speed to soft peaks. Sprinkle with 2 tablespoons of sugar and whip until stiff, glossy peaks. Gently fold 1/3 of egg white mixture into the batter. Use a spatula to fold from top to bottom. Don't press too hard on the batter. Folding allows the two ingredients to combine without losing the air bubbles in the baked goods. This air acts as leaven and helps cake stay light. The goal is to get a fluffy, oxygened mess. This takes time and careful movements. When the first part of the egg white mixture is well combined, add the second part and continue movements from top to bottom. Gently push down through the whites and butter, scraping up the bottom of the bowl. Lift some of the butter up and over the whites. When the third part of egg white mixture combined completely, you will get a fluffy and thick sponge batter. I am going to dye the butter in 6 colors. So put about 60 grams of the butter in a small bowl. Add 1 drop of the yellow food color gel. Gently fold the food gels using a spoon. Rotate a bowl and make movements from top to bottom. It keeps air bubbles in the butter and cake roll will be light and fluffy. Pour in colored butter in a separated piping bag. Scrape the butter off the side of the bowl thoroughly with a spatula. Use this bowl for coloring butter in orange color and later in the red. Then mix blue butter in the same bowl as green. The remainings of the butter are colored violet in the large bowl. Take a baking pan. Cut piping bag. Don't make a small hole of the piping bag, because air bubbles will go through small tip hole and pop. Pipe colored butter between each white wavy line. The butter is thick and keep its shape well enough, and don't spread out through the white waves. If you have filled up all the empty space between white wavy lines and you still have some butter left, squeeze it on top of the butter of the same color. Use a pastry knife to even the surface of the sponge cake batter. Don't press, just smooth the stripes. When the cake is done, immediately cover the hot sponge cake with a large clean tea towel and put a chopping board on top of it. It must be larger than the baking pan. Carefully flip the pan over onto the chopping board. Remove the baking pan. Slowly and carefully peel off the baking paper. Dust the printed side of the cake with sugar powder. Cover it with another tea towel. Flip the cake on top of it with the printed side of the cake facing down. Carefully roll the cake up while it is hot. Don't push or press the cake. Leave space inside the roll for the filling. Once the cake has cooled down, carefully unroll the tea towels. Remove the inner towel. Spread any thick filling over. I add one of my favorite filling recipes, which is in the class info. Then roll the cake back the same way it was rolled before. Use the leftovers of the filling to fill up the empty sides of the roll. Wrap in the kitchen film. Keeping in the fridge overnight before unwrapping again and placing on a serving plate. You can always top cake roll with a sprinkle of powdered sugar, sugar pear mix, ganache, fruits. The inside looks incredible. Time to dig in and enjoy.